Hey basketball players, so today obviously you're watching this video because you want to have the best tips on how you can create the best killer crossover, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so there's so many different ways on how you can beat a defender with a killer crossover. But really quickly, what is a killer crossover? A killer crossover is basically one where you're going to be essentially setting up some kind of a cross, making it look like you're going to go in one direction and then crossing over and going in the other. So you can do this multiple different ways. You can do a regular cross and then back. You can do this through the legs, behind the back, any which way that you want. However, today, we're going to set up a couple of tips on how you can do so successfully. So I'm going to start off with my favorite tip, and that is to hop into the direction that you're crossing over to, or at least acting like you're going to go towards that side, and then cross back over. And what I mean by that is when you're going for your crossover, do a quick hop into that direction, and then of course cross over. The wider you get it, the better. However, there are some players who will do a quick over top cross. That's totally fine. However, you generally want to have it not scoop over top. That's sort of a different type of move. However, at the same time, you can still do it. I'm not going to say it's not a killer crossover myself, but hop into it and then go back. Fantastic move. That's going to get you past a lot of players. You can also set this up different ways as well, but we're going to get into this setup a little bit later on. So by doing a regular killer crossover, you can just go and hop into it, and then you can cross back. That's really going to shift your defender. You really want to get different heights on your crossover too, so you can start standing upright, and then you can get low, and then cross back over. You want to change different heights. You want to go also laterally, sideways. That's really going to mess up the defender as well. And then you can also add in different things, so you can go through your legs and then back, which then gets me back into my next point. And my next point is how you can set up this crossover. So you don't want to do the exact same crossover and over again. It's not going to work. You're going to have to start setting things up. What I mean by that is you can go with a killer crossover and then one dribble attack and pull up for your shot. That is not a killer crossover. However, now that defender is going to think, oh, well, if he hops, he's going to come back and I'll set up a charge on this side or whatever. I'll try to keep on directing him towards that side. Well, now, when you do this hop, one dribble hard, that's going to get him to try and defend you, driving towards the rim. That one dribble hard, that stop, is going to allow you to pull up for a shot. And that sort of leads me into my next point, which is going to be, you really want to do a read and react style crossover. You don't want to do the exact same crossover over and over again. So for example, if you're always doing a regular killer crossover with that hop, that defender's going to know what you're doing, and he's going to be setting up so that he can stop you. You can also do it in the other direction. You can go a quick hop and then back. You can go either way, but remember that defender is going to adapt and do exactly what he needs to do to stop your drive. Next is the setup. So you don't have to set up a killer crossover, but it does make it a little bit easier. So we've all seen players like Kawhi Leonard who go through their legs like this. They're setting up their crossover. They're trying to figure out and watch essentially the mid part of the player, their feet, see if their heels touch the ground. That's one of the things where if a defender is defending you and he does one of a few things where he either changes his top foot or he goes from his toes down to his heels because he's getting kind of bored or tired or whatever it may be, that's when you can really destroy them. But you can also use this to set up the crossover, so you can go low. You don't have to do this quick, but then off of that second or third crossover through your legs, you can do another crossover through the legs, do that killer crossover, and then pull up for a shot. Now, you can set that up like that. You can go through your legs a few times, and then you can attack. And then once he sees that you're attacking a few times, you can go through your legs a few times. And now he's way over there. You can pull up for a shot. There's different ways that you can set up the killer cross. So what I'm basically trying to get to is don't just look at basketball as a sport where you need all-out fitness, which you do. You need fitness, you need strength, you need foot speed. You also need skill, but also you need the mind. You need to play mind games with your defender. That's what made Allen Iverson so great. He was able to change different heights of his crossover. He was able to change the width of how far he crossed, but also he was able to play mind games when it came to the defender. So, like I was mentioning, if your defender starts guarding you one way, do a quick snatch back or another type of crossover back, and now you can even destroy your defender even more. So for example, if you've gone through that sized up move and you've done that one dribble attack and pulled up, and now he's guarding that, and now you're doing that same move and you're sizing up that defender, and then you do maybe an in and out killer cross and he's still reading that, now what you can do is even better. So now what you can do is a quick size up, quick attack, and then cross back. So do the killer cross. When you cross back over, and you'll be all set. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.